Namaskar, my dear friends. Welcome to the lecture series of computer-aided manufacturing. In our previous video, you have learned about the group technology. Now, from this video, we are going to start our new chapter. That is the unit number 5 as per the Gujarat Technological University. That is the flexible manufacturing system, part 1. Now, let us see the content of this lecture. History of FMS, definition of FMS, components of FMS, need of FMS, objectives of flexible manufacturing systems, and cellular versus flexible manufacturing system. Now let us start with the history of flexible manufacturing system. Okay, so the flexible manufacturing system, it was first conceptualized for machining, and it required the prior development of NC. Okay, so this concept is credited to the David Williamson, a British engineer during the mid of 1960s. Okay, and in late 1960s, the first flexible manufacturing system, machining system was installed at Ingersoll Rand Company in Virginia. And Germany implemented its first FMS in 1969 in cooperation with the University of Stuttgart. And Russia and Japan implemented FMS in 1972. Okay, now in world, the numbers of countries or developed countries and developing countries are using this flexible manufacturing system in the production industries. Okay, so now let us see the introduction of flexible manufacturing system. So the use of CNC machine tools, it provides the flexibility in terms of the low job changing time. However, the full benefits of automation cannot be achieved simply by the use of CNC machine tool alone. So the complete job making process involves the use of machine tool along with all the associated equipment being made available at the right time. So the associated equipment involves the cutting tools, workpiece blank, part program, tool offset, and the like. Okay. So as a result, the effective CNC machine utilization, it can be achieved if all these are integrated. Okay. So in this table, in this figure, some typical figures of machine utilization based on the general trend in the industries are given. Okay, so you can see the automation, the basic CNC, manual tool and work loading, the machine utilization is 50%. Basic CNC with automatic work holding and workpiece storage, manual loading, the machine utilization is 60%. Complete machine automation, automatic work and tool handling, tool monitoring, workpiece inspection, work and tool storage, the machine utilization is 75%. Integration of group machines, similar to that shown in third type, okay, it is 80%. And flexible manufacturing system, FMS, that is the automated workpiece movement between machines, is 90%. Okay, so it can be seen that the full utilization, that is the 90% with the rest allocated for the maintenance, can be achieved in FMS. Okay, can be achieved in FMS by the properly integrating all the required functions. So a large number of definitions have been provided for the FMS. Okay, so let us see the different definitions given by the different researchers, okay, or the different engineers. So first, a series of automatic tools or items of fabrication equipment linked together with an automatic material handling system. A common hierarchical digital pre-programmed computer control and provision for random fabrication of parts or assemblies that fall within the predetermined families. Then one more definition of the FMS is FMS group of NC machine tools that can randomly process a group of parts having automated material handling and central computer control to dynamically balance resource utilization so that the system can adapt automatically to changes in part production, mixes and levels of output. FMS is a randomly loaded automated system based on group technology, manufacturing linking integrated computer control and a group of machines to automatically produce and handle parts for continuous serial processing. FMS combines the microelectronics and mechanical engineering to bring the economics of scale to batch work. A central online computer controls the machine tools, other workstations, and the transfer of components and tooling. The computer also provides the monitoring and information control. So this combination of flexibility and overall control, it makes possible the production of a wide range of products in small numbers. A process under control to produce the varieties of components or products within its stated capability and to predetermine schedule. A technology which will help achieve linear factories with better response times, lower unit cost, and higher quality under an improved level of management and capital control. Okay. Then, so a technology which helps achieve linear factories with better response time, okay, and lower unit cost and higher quality under an improved level of management and capital control. So in short, all the definitions we can say with the help of or with the applying the FMS flexible manufacturing system, it gives the flexibility to the production engineer. Okay, it reduce the cost, it improves the quality of the product. Okay, so it can be seen that the true FMS can handle a wide variety of dissimilar parts, okay, and producing them in small numbers, even one at a time, in any order as needed by making use of all the computer control equipment, okay, that workstation and material handling with the help of central computer control of all the equipment within. Okay, so here you can see in this table typical cost associated with various types of manufacturing systems. Okay, so you can see here the cost, and in this cost the different costs are direct labor, overhead, capital cost, other cost, and total. Okay, so in small scale industry, this is the standalone machine tools, medium scales in FMS, and in large scale it is the transfer line. Okay, so you can see in small case the direct labor is 53.7%. In medium scale it is 25.7, and in large case you can see it is 19.7. Overhead cost is 13.5, here 13.9, and large scale transfer line 23.7. Okay, capital cost 17.8, 33.1, 29.8. Okay, and other cost 25%, here 28.3 and 26.8. So you can see in direct labor, okay, in direct labor you can see the large difference between the small scale industry, that is the more than the 50% cost is of direct labor, but here you can see it's a 1/4. Okay, so 25% here you can see the 25.7, and in large scale, that is where we are using the transfer line, it is less than 20%. So with the help of this FMS, we can reduce the direct labor. Okay, that is the tangible advantage of the flexible manufacturing system. Okay. Now, components of flexible manufacturing systems. So basically, there are three main components. Okay, that is workstation, load and unload station, and workpiece transport equipment. Okay, but here the three uh, secondary components, that is the pallets, fixtures, and tools. Okay, so let us see first. Here is the workstations. So the workstation, it vary according to the type of parts being produced. In metal cutting systems, the machines are usually computer numerically controlled. Okay, so CNC, horizontal spindle machining centers. Okay, if prismatic workpiece are to be produced, or the turning centers, or if rotational workpiece. Okay. So some system consist of both type of machines. Okay. When workpieces it involving both type of operations are required. And other systems, they include the single purpose machines, okay, as opposed to machining centers which are designed to perform a range of processes. So in addition to metalworking machines, there may also be gauging machines or other types of inspection machines. Okay, so there are systems for sheet metal operations, okay, PCB manufacture and assembly operations. So this is all about the workstation where the works to be carried out, okay, in flexible manufacturing system. Then load and unload stations. Okay, so parts have to be introduced into the system at some point, and there are usually load unload stations where the parts are placed on pallets and usually by human operators. So in some cases, parts may be supplied by an orienting device and loaded by a robot. Okay, so unloading is usually done at the same stations, but there may be a separated the unload stations. Okay, so loading and unloading, you can see, you can understand from this picture, the automatic loading and unloading. Then the next is the workpiece transport equipment. Okay, so the activities which are carried out to transport the equipment or the product from one place to another place, okay, that is called the workpiece transport. So workpiece must be transported from the load positions to the production equipment and back for the unloading. So three types of the equipments are in common use, the namely conveyors, vehicles, and robots. So there are load lines in conveyor system for each workstation, and conveyor systems are less popular. Okay, so there are several types of the vehicles, that is the rail cars and AGVs, that is automated guided vehicles. So there are several types of mobile floors mounted robots which can be used for workpiece transport. Okay, so overhead gantry robots are popular for both workpiece and tool handling. Okay, so this is all about the workpiece transport equipment. Nowadays, generally, automated guided vehicles are used, or the robots are used for the transport. Then, next one is the pallet. So, workpieces are normally held in pallets of some sort of for transport and locating on machine tables. So two types are common. One type of pallet which serves just carries for a batch of small parts to facilitate and reduce the frequency of movement. Okay, perhaps by a robot. So this type is common in system which use conveyors and gantry robots, but are also using AGV system. Okay. So the other type of pallet is one on which one or more parts are accurately located and which is itself move onto the machine table and held in position while machining operations are performed on the parts. Okay. Then fixtures. Okay, so you can see here fixtures. So fixtures are used to locate parts precisely on pallets, and they are usually specific to one type of part, so that each part requires different fixtures. So in some cases, however, the several type of parts may be sufficiently similar to make the use of same fixtures. Okay, so the fixtures may be permanently bolted on the pallet, or they may be removed from the pallet when the part requiring a different fixtures is to be produced into the system and placed on the pallet. Okay, then tools. Okay, so most operations require some form of tooling specific to the particular operation being performed. Typically, cutting tools in machining centers. Machining centers have tool magazine in which a set of tools can be held so that any operations on a range of workpiece can be performed. And tools have to be changed because of their tool life or because the part to be work required tools which are not currently in the tool magazines. Okay, so this is all about the components of the FMS. Okay, so there are six different components of the flexible manufacturing system. Then next one is the need of flexible manufacturing system. Why it is required? Yeah, this is the most important point. Why the flexible manufacturing system? Okay, so the key objective in manufacturing is to get the right raw materials or parts to the right machine at the right time. Okay, right raw material or part to the right machine at right time. So too much or too soon creates the backup access in process inventory. So too light or too late, it causes the delayed work schedule and ideal machines. So the result in many cases is the poor use of capital in the form of access in process inventory and utilization of equipment. Okay. So in any single calendar year, there are 8,760 hours available to the manufacturing operations. Okay, as can be seen here in this figure. Okay, there are 8,760 hours available for the manufacturing operation. So these statistics have shown that about 55 percentage, okay, about 55 percentage of total time available is lost due to the incomplete use of second and third shift. Okay, so 55 percentage of the total time available is lost due to the incomplete use of second and third shift. So the skilled, experienced people required to operate and set up machines are either not available or disinterested in working. That is the unsocial hours, and the problem is going to get worse. Okay, so you can see here insufficient use of second and third shift. Then weekend holiday and vacation, that is a 34 percentage. Machine and work setup 12 percentage, machining 6 percentage, and unforeseen problem 4 percentage. So the long-term trend is firmly established that a declining percentage of people entering the workforce will choose the careers in manufacturing. Okay. So 34% of total time is lost due to the vacations and holiday. You can see the 34%. Okay. So 12% is lost while the machines are being set up for the next operation, or parts are being loaded or unloaded. So about 5% of time is lost due to the process difficulties or unforeseen materials, toolings or quality control problems. Okay. So this leaves the only 6% of the total time for actual productions. Okay. So the batch manufacturers capital investment for equipment and facilities is working, trying to pay for itself. Less than 1 hour in 17. Okay. Less than 1 hour in 17. So similar studies indicate that in a typical manufacturing operation, a part moving through the metal cutting operation would be on an individual machine tool only 5% of its total time in manufacturing. Okay, so as displayed in this figure, you can see here. So when a part is on a particular metal cutting machine, okay, machine tool, only 1.5 to 2%. Okay, only 1.5 to 2% of the parts total manufacturing time is a cutter in the work, actually performing work and adding values. So the other 95% of time, the part is either moving through the shop or waiting in queue for the next operation. You can see here 5% on a machine and 95% is on the moving and waiting. So these examples, it indicates the underutilization of equipment and gross inefficiencies existing in a vast majority of manufacturing industries. Okay, so that's why, okay, that's why for the proper utilization of the industries, proper utilizations of the manpower, and proper utilization of the machines, the flexible manufacturing is required nowadays. Now, many before the objectives of the flexible manufacturing system, many manufacturing industries are currently dedicated to manual and conventional production methods or the high-speed fixed automation. By their very nature, not very flexible, okay, or responsive. So many are ill-suited to accommodate faster product and process changes in an increasingly globalized and competitive marketplace. Okay. So this flexible manufacturing affords users the opportunity to react quickly to changing product types, mixes and volume volumes, while providing increased utilization and predictable control over hard assets. Okay. So this FMS provides user with many benefits and they are not easy to justify. Okay, limitations and alternative must be weighed and compared to determine if FMS is the best or even the right approach to productivity and profitability improvement. Okay, now let us see the objectives of the flexible manufacturing system. It improves the operational control through the reduction in number of uncontrollable variables, providing tools to recognize and react quickly to deviations in the manufacturing plan, and reducing dependence on human communications. Okay. Then second objective is the reduce the direct labor. How it reduces the direct labor? Through the removing operators from the machining side. Okay, so their responsibility and activities can be broadened, and eliminating eliminating dependence on highly skilled machinists, okay, and providing a catalyst to introduce and support unattended or lightly attending machine operations. Then improve short-run responsiveness, okay, which consisting of engineering changes, processing changes, machine downtime or unavailability, cutting tool failure, late material delivery. Then improve long-run accommodations through quicker and easier assimilation of changing product volumes, new product addition and introductions, and different part mixes. Then increase machine utilization by eliminating machine setup, utilizing automated features to replace manual interventions. Okay. Then providing quick transfer devices to keep machines in the cutting cycles and reduce inventory by reducing lot size, improving inventory turnovers, and providing the planning tools for just-in-time manufacturing. Okay. So these are the basic objectives of the flexible manufacturing systems. Now, cellular versus flexible manufacturing. Okay, so an FMS, even though it is a unique manufacturing system, is sometimes referred to as a cell, a highly sophisticated and automated one among some manufacturers. Okay, so and in some cases, a single NC machine cell or an integrated multi-machine cell is referred to as a flexible manufacturing system. Okay? In actuality, the only flexibility that may exist at all is changing to a different part when the similar batch requirements are completed. Okay? So although sometimes the described as a cell, an FMS is set apart from any other cell by virtue of its central computer control and highly developed software. Okay, complete part, tooling and material handling, flexibility and control, and randomness of production scheduling and machining. Okay, so conventional equipment cannot compete with FMS concept because of the lack of management control, inherent inefficiencies, and the ever-present setup and retooling requirements. Okay. So the primary differences between automated manufacturing cell and true flexible manufacturing systems are like cells lack central computer control with real-time routing, load balancing, and production scheduling logic. So they are generally controlled by the cell controllers or by their own independent but interface machine controls. Okay. So an FMS will almost invariably be connected to a higher level computer within the manufacturing operation. Okay. So in many cases, it is tied directly to the corporate computing system, which may also be running the MRP, that is the material requirement planning system, the inventory control system, and sometimes the computer aided design system in design engineering. Okay, cells are typically tool capacity constrained. Both single and multi-machine cells are limited by the total number of unique and redundant cutting tools that occupy available tool pockets. Okay, so this limits the part spectrum that could be run through a cell at a given time without stopping the equipment and manual exchanging tools to accommodate different workpiece. Okay, now here you can see the difference between this cellular, okay, cell versus the FMS. So in cell there is low flexibility, high flexibility in FMS, small store part program inventory and accessibility, and large stored part program, inventory and accessibility. In cell, it is limited online computing power and decision making software. Your high online computing power and decision making software. Okay. Low to moderate equipment and resource cost, high equipment and resource cost, limited flexibility and variety of part produced in cellular manufacturing, and high flexibility and variety of parts produced in the FMS. In cellular, low to medium preparation and implementation requirements. Here, high preparation and implementation requirements. In cellular, benefits narrow but easily identified and quantified. Here, the benefits broad but the hard to identify and quantify. Moderate justification complexity and difficulty with mid-management approval required. Whereas here in flexible FMS system, difficult and complex justification process with high level approval required. Here in cellular, moderate level of management, commitment and support required. Here the high level of management, commitment and support required. Low staffing and training impact. In Flex FMS, the high staffing and training impact. Moderate effect on other internal operations and organizations. Here the high effect on other internal operations and organizations. Low to moderate risk and complexity, minimal facility changes, and high risk and complexity and many facility changes or new facility required, and short planning to implementation cycle and long planning to implementation cycle. Okay, so this is all about the cellular versus flexible manufacturing system. So now I hope you can understand very well. Okay, and in our next lecture we will learn about the different types of FMS system. Okay, then tool management system, then advantages of FMS. Okay, so I thank you very much, friend. Thank you.